Hello and welcome to a look at Magic Pockets for the Amiga, a game that was developed by the Bitmap brothers and released by Renegade. Now, before starting to cover the plot and all that kind of stuff, I do want to apologize for muting the intro, but it is a commercial song, or was a commercial song, whatever the case might be, and I'm not going to gamble on YouTube kicking up a stink about it, so I decided to mute it. Sorry about that. This is the story about Cool Kid, the coolest kid in town. He's so incredibly cool that he wears shades at night time. He's so incredibly cool that when he walks down the street, ice cubes are going to form behind him. And yeah, he is cool. And if you think I overstated how cool he is, just read the manual. Regardless, being cool and walking down the cool street, he meets an elderly chap who gives him a pair of pants with some magic pockets. Those magic pockets are very interesting because they more or less have infinite storage space. So Cool Kid can now run around in his cool pants with his cool pockets filled with all his cool toys. So he's a happy, cool chap. But one day when he puts his cool hands in his I'm stopping now, in his pockets, he realizes that all his toys are gone, and he is not overly happy about that because it's hard to be what he is without all his um, lukewarm toys. So he spawns a portal from the pockets and jumps through it to retake his toys from the nasties. They are called nasties. It's not me using the phrase. Who stole all his toys and he wants to take them back. But of course, I mean, he is cooler than lukewarm. Cool kid, whatever. So just getting his toys back even is not enough. No. He has to teach the nasty people a lesson. So off he goes, throwing all sorts of stuff at them in order to get them to disappear, and eventually go finding his cool toys, consisting of objects such as a bike, a boxing glove, and a diving helmet. As you go along, you will be facing off various different enemies. They are called bad people, but they look more like not people. And in order to combat them, you have to throw things from your pockets at them. And those things you throw at them is defined by the level you are playing on. The first level, you will pick up small tornadoes from your pockets. But that's not cool enough. No. You can keep your hand in your pockets for an extended amount of time in order to grab out a bigger hurricane tornado thing and throw at enemies. And depending on how long you charge up your grabbing of stuff from your pockets, the more damage whatever you throw at the enemies will do. And if whatever you throw at the enemy is big enough to actually suck them in, you can jump on whatever object it might be in order to get them to spawn sweets. The sweets and treats and whatnot comes in various shapes and sizes and functions. Most of them are just points, but you have individual things like milk bottles, which will restore health, and stars, which will give various different bonuses. And then, of course, you have the gold stars, which usually contains something incredibly powerful, like a power up of some description that can either make Cool Kid invulnerable or something to that function thing. The goal of each level is to reacquire one of the toys that's been stolen from you. And on the first level, the toy in question is a bike. You may have noticed arrows popping out when tornadoes has been thrown out of the pocket, and they will indicate which general direction you need to go in order to find your toy. It doesn't mean, of course, that you can go the direct route the arrow is pointing. You likely have to go a massive detour in order to actually get to where you need to go. But it is nice to have that general indicator of which general direction you should be aiming to move. The closer you are to the toy in question, the more arrows will pop out. Once you find your toy, you need to equip it, jump on it, whatever you need to do, and then head towards the end of the level, move on to the next sub-level, and so on. From a graphical point of view, this game carries that distinctive style that Bitmap Brothers used for virtually all their games. This is a graphical style that certain people absolutely love and certain other people absolutely do not love. It has a sort of metallic look to it, and I've always been a fan of their graphical style, even though I think it can be overdone at times, and personally I think Cool Kid is perhaps a bit, I don't know, too much. The levels are very distinguishable from one another, and the various different enemies. They're called bad people in the manual, but you can probably see for yourself that they are anything but people in most cases. Um, I'm happy with the graphics. I wouldn't say I love it, but I find it quite good all the same. The music you're not going to hear because, as I said earlier in the video, I have muted it, but I can tell you that the music is excellent. I've claimed before that Richard Joseph was for the Amiga what Rob Hubbard was for the Commodore 64 when it comes to sound, and that also applies to the sound effects. Some of them are a bit over the top, but I find them very enjoyable and satisfying, and find that they fit the game incredibly well. The controls are what you would expect them to be. Left, right, up, down will do those kind of things, and then you use the fire button to throw things out of your pocket. You need to hold down the fire button in order to charge up what it is you are throwing out of your pocket, but outside of that, the only archaic control thing is in order to utilize the tornadoes on the first level in order to jump high, you need to pull down in the joystick. You also use pulling down in the joystick to pick up power-ups or dropping them. So you can imagine if you carry a spiffy power-up and you need to make use of the tornado to reach a higher point, you need to drop the power-up before you can jump, which is something that is perhaps slightly annoying. The overall pacing of this game is slow, and that is due to the fact that the various different enemies you are facing, some of them have one hit point, which of course means that one toss of whatever you got in your pockets is enough to get rid of them, and some of them have 7. And there's no clear indicator of which have what. You can have 5 identical enemies, each having different hit point values, meaning that you basically, in order to progress safely, will have to anticipate every single area and just spam whatever you are spamming at them, hoping that they will all blow up so you can actually move forward. Because you only have one life. Once you lose your hit points, that's it, game over. You can use one of 3 continues to continue. But the fact that you basically have to crawl your way through the game is definitely going to put a lot of players off from playing it. All in all, I've always enjoyed the aspect of it, and I don't mind the slow pace, but if you do, this game is likely not for you. Thanks for watching, take care, see you next time. Bye bye for now.